Welcome back, everyone. So, if you're into automotive history, if you like that sort of thing, you're going to enjoy this next video. I'm here with Mr. BA himself, Mr. Ken. Hey, Ken.
Hi, Gary.
How you doing?
Good.
Thank you for having us over again. We get to look at this collection, this amazing British-American collection, and you got a lot of Canadian oil cans here.
Yeah. Like I say, welcome to this segment of Gary the Gear, which we're gonna focus mostly on oil cans, I guess.
Yeah, last time we were here, you had 752. Now you're well over 800.
I'm around 800 now of quart oil cans, Canadian quart oil cans. Cans altogether, I probably got over 1,500 or so, including, small cans and barrels and pails and stuff like that. But the round quart oil cans are around 800 now. Yeah.
Wow, impressive, Ken. So take us around. We're going to start upstairs, and then we're going to go into the bulk of the collection in the basement.
Well, sure. What we'd do is like most of them, or a lot of them here is BA ones, and this is just racks of cans that I have. Different ones that I put together just to have racks. In this cabinet here, there's a lot of smalls in here. There's some fairly hard to come by small cans and containers and whatnot. That's kind of what the bulk of in there. And then over in this cabinet over here are some of my more unique cans. A little bit harder to find. They
more rare,
more desirable, I guess you could say. They are, a lot of them are older ones too. They're kind of neat ones. They're fairly
more rare, more valuable.
Yep. And a lot of them have kind of neat stories to them, like this Victory one here is a Saskatchewan can. There's a little bit of history in that. Down by south of Moose Jaw, Assiniboia is where that can actually came from. I took a trip down there to where that can was produced and got a little bit of history on there. Paroline Highway Refineries is another Saskatchewan-based company and can. William Penn is a Western Canadian one. Some of these other ones are Eastern ones too, so they're kind of a neat can. Redhead is an Alberta-based company that's very desirable. It's a very collectible can.
Wow.
And
I didn't realize there were so many, Canadian for one, but Saskatchewan, and that's in
there's every region seems to have their own little companies. But there's actually some fairly neat Saskatchewan cans, some very desirable ones too, like White Fox up by Melfort. There's a few down by Swift Current that are very collectible too. So
wow,
interesting. It's kind of neat, some of the cans that are there. We can carry on, and I'll give you one thing I want to mention is there's actually a Canadian edition book for oil cans.
Oh, there is.
From Elaine Gilbert from down east, and he's made a very nice book about the cans of across Canada, and kind of a rarity scale. There's no value on there because it's really the value kind of goes up and down on cans all the time. So, but the rarity thing there, but there's some very good reference material here in this book.
Wow.
And I've got an update on my phone for that, but that book is really...
So do you, by chance, have every can in that book?
No, not even close. There's probably over 2,000 different cans that...
oh, wow.
Some friends of mine in Alberta and I have talked over the years, and one friend in particular, he's got somewhere around 2,000 or more different oil cans in his collection.
Wow.
And another friend is in around 1,500 different cans. And so there's a lot. There's a lot of cans out there. This collection is just a drop in the bucket compared to those guys.
Drop in the bucket, but I have yet to see something as big as this. This is incredible.
This one kind of cool thing that I like doing is I have a machine to relid the cans.
Yeah.
And you can you just you put the can inside there and strap it down, and it crimps a
Puts a new lid on.
crimps a new lid on. You can sit it in there, and then you turn it around, and whoops! And while it's going along, you crimp a new can on there. It turns the whole thing. You get it all.
Oh,
And you can see the what it is supposed to do there. But yeah, it's just it's kind of neat to give them a new lease on life with the
well,
the
they're
lids on
all
there.
the lids are punched on them, so you know.
Yeah, well, and some of them are
nice to.
yeah, some of them are actually missing. They take the lids off and use them for putting nuts and bolts and stuff in. So,
Ah, gotcha.
so that's kind of neat to be able to do that and to restore some of the cans. It's kind of nice to do that.
While we're in this room, walk us through some of this, Ken.
Oh,
A little bit of everything in here.
A little bit of everything. BA mostly in here. Lots of different things. Got some toys. Got some hats. Got a couple clocks. Got some signs and lots of smalls and whatnot. So, but yeah, lots of little different things. There's some fan belts and one cool thing is I think I mentioned in one of the other videos is a baby spoon that employees of BA when they have a little baby, and I think 59, 60, and 61 get a spoon.
Wow.
So there's really not a lot of those around, but but yeah, a lot of neat little things that are in here in this room.
Nice display cabinet here full of all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Spark plugs and everything, and that
Yeah.
was a little toy BA garage that.
Yeah, little cardboard garage that kind of a giveaway thing. Yeah, there's spark plugs. There's hockey pucks. There's battery date codes. There's patches. There's keychains. There's thermometers.
Little banks, little car
Little
banks.
banks. Yeah.
All promotional stuff
Yep.
that they gave away to all their customers.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was everything. They came up with all kinds of neat stuff.
They had a really good marketing strategy. BA did. They were one of the best in Canada as for that goes. Anyways, they had a lot of stuff that they put their name on almost anything.
Yeah. And it's all collectible today, and we've got a large amount of it. What impresses me is the paper goods and the box goods, any cardboard paper. It's amazing that has lasted the test of time.
It has. That stuff doesn't stay around. It usually gets thrown away or just completely disintegrates. So whenever I come across a paper item or a cardboard item, I always try and snap it up because they just aren't around there.
Yeah.
It's not around. So I guess from here we can go down to the basement into the can room and have a look around there.
All right. Sounds good, Ken. All right, here we are down in the famous can room, and you guys can see 800 quart cans, and in the neighborhood of 1,500-ish. You got smalls and 5 gallon and 3 gallon and all 2 gallon and all that. It's amazing amount of cans down here.
Oh, there's a lot. Actually, I'll show you where it all started from.
Okay. One specific can.
One specific can. This one right here is what started it all. This one here was in the farm. What we can figure out, it's my grandpa got this can. It was upside down, full of nuts and bolts in the shop in the garage. And that's my first can that I got when I first started collecting.
Wow, that started a big thing here.
And this can is from around 1938.
Wow.
So if you look on here, there's letters and numbers there, and those letters and the number is the facility that that the can is made on, and then there's a little symbol beside it. Is attached to a table that has years on it, and
so if you look up on a chart,
you can look up on a chart. And you can date a lot of these cans. Most of them are the older ones. Some of the newer cans you can't date as well. Some of them even have a date on them. But on the cans, when they look like this, or
And you're talking about the seam?
Yeah, the seam. Some of them have some notches in them. This is called a soldered seam.
Uh-huh.
And then when you look at ones like these, this is called a crimp seam. So
okay.
the solder seams are the early. The round quart metal cans came out approximately 1933.
Oh, wow.
And they were the solder seam was around till approximately the mid 50s, and then they went to the crimp seam. So that's kind of
One way to date it.
one way to date it.
You actually are good enough with the BA specifically that you can tell by the bow ties and the colors and a
Yeah.
lot of it that
Yeah.
you know exactly when it
Pretty
was.
much. The bow ties, when these cans came out, the bow tie was already on. This one's an earlier can. This one probably was closer to 1933, where these ones are around 1938. But the bow tie came out in 1928, from 1928 to 58, and then from late 58, and they kind of phased it in to the roundel there in 1950, from between 48 and 50, and then in 1969 was the transitional period.
Where they started to go into blues and oranges.
For the Gulf, to go into the Gulf.
Yeah.
And then they had two colors there. Now, I was told by a friend of mine that his dad and his friend of his dad worked in BA, and was told that this is actually, the lighter blue is actually a mistake. It's more of a, it's actually a earlier color, royalite blue, and was sort of a mistake, and they let a bunch go through, and then later on they went to the darker blue to transition into the Gulf. So it's kind of harder to find the blue, lighter blue ones than it is the darker blue.
Because it was an error.
It was basically an error, yeah.
Wow. Oh, interesting.
And then going on to all the other cans, like there's lots of different companies like Canadian Tire, Valvoline, Royal Triton. These are all Canadian companies or subsidiaries of the American companies, which Kendall is is big down in the States. Vidal, some of that. Shell is all over, even into Europe. Ford, even the vehicle manufacturers, Ford, GM. There's some GM ones up there. We have Chrysler. We even have Rambler. Quite a bit of different ones. And but we have some Eastern ones, like Sunoco is Eastern, Regents Eastern. We even have Suzuki ones, and then we can kind of go over into some other regional ones, like Sturdy Motor Oil is out of Lethbridge, Alberta.
Oh.
Anglo is out of Brandon and Winnipeg, Manitoba. They stay pretty much in Manitoba.
And then you got Viceroy at the bottom.
Yeah, Viceroy. That's more of an Eastern company. And then
yeah, this is a lot of this stuff is impressive. A lot of it I have never seen before.
yeah, a lot of it is, like say, it kind of goes out right across Canada, and then a lot of them is your transitional from Buffalo Oil to William Penn to North Star, and then after North Star got bought out by Shell.
Ah, gotcha.
And as well as White Rose got bought out by Shell in the mid to late 60s as well. So White Rose was very popular all the way across Canada. It was almost as good a marketing as BA was. Royalite was another Western Canadian company. And Quaker State, Husky, Pacific 66 was the Canadian version of Phillips 66 down in the States.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, yeah, and then we have the tractor companies, International, and we have Case. And then we have Texaco, which is, of course, one of the big ones, and Esso. And then we have some small ones, like Luby Lube is out of Alberta. Canadian Pride, I think that's another Western Canadian company that's very small, but they're very regional. Silver Prime was out of Regina.
Oh, wow.
And Purity 99 is another Western Canadian, mostly Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. And then you have other Beatty is for the old washing machine engine oil and
Wow.
snowmobile oil. And so then we get come into some of these other ones. Dural's an Alberta company. Grand Prix out of Montreal, Quebec. Roco is a fairly big company, or very astute company out of Manitoba. They have some pretty neat cans. The Maple Leaf Co-ops are all Alberta, UFA. We have some Eaton's and different ones like that. Rizlone Home Oil is out of British Columbia, exclusively British Columbia.
Wow.
We have some Dominion. Dominion was kind of across, mostly down east, but there was some a little bit closer in around the western central Canada. And Turbo, Pennzoil, Co-op, of course, is actually across Canada, but a lot of these co-ops here are Western Canadian. There's some Eastern ones there, but they're getting to be quite popular.
So the Pennzoil is connected to BA as
To
well?
BA, that was their secondary oil that they sold in there.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we can pan up to this Randy Rose motor oil can. There's a bit of a cool story behind that. Dear friend of mine, Joe Kelly, had a couple of gas pumps that he rented to a company that did a GM commercial and also to a movie company. And him and his wife made up a rack of cans to go with
For the movie?
for the movie, or mostly for the I think, and Joe could correct that if he sees this. I think it was for sure the GM commercial, and I can't remember. I think it was in the movie too, but I can't remember what he said. But they made those up, and so they were kind of a little bit of a famous can there.
It appeared in a movie.
Yeah, they
And made
appeared in
for
a
the movie.
Yeah.
It couldn't, they unless somebody was going to sponsor them, they got to use something else.
Yeah, it was kind of neat. So yeah, that's, and then we're getting into some of the big cans like this big square one here. That's probably the oldest can that I have. That one's probably pretty much right when British American Oil Company started in 1906. So that's a 100 and some year old can. That one there.
Wow, in a nice shape.
It's decent shape. There's some that are in better shape, but I mean that one's very very displayable for sure.
There's
Yeah.
the difference in the
Yes.
artwork there.
And that's called the anvil and sickle. That was one of their first insignias, and then it went to a couple other ones. There was a lifesaver. I don't have any with the lifesaver on them, and then they went to the bow tie and then the roundels.
Ah, gotcha.
And
Now
that,
the
so-
square, the reason it's square was, I think you were telling me, to sit in the Model T cars.
There were, for getting into different spots, there were some that were square, some that were square and flat where they slid under to the seat.
Yeah.
And some of those ones, the square ones, so they sat on the running boards as well.
Wow.
So,
interesting.
because you had to have them, some way of carrying them along on the cars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
setting them on
cars had to have them because they didn't change oil in
Nope.
cars back then. They just added.
Kept adding them, yeah. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, there's a lot of different, like I say, there's a lot of different brands there. A couple good friends of mine in Alberta have well over around that 2,000 mark of different oil can companies. Well, the companies, the cans themselves are different. I don't know about the companies, but there's a lot of different companies across Canada.
Yeah.
So I have to blame my friend Darcy Morey and my friend Don Cooper and my friend Joe Kelly for getting me into this. They're the ones that are responsible for me this addiction here. So, but it's a fun addiction.
Yeah,
it's fun to have.
well,
It could be a lot of worse things.
Oh, absolutely. And there's lots of value here. This stuff doesn't seem to drop in value.
It doesn't seem to drop. Good cans are always worth good money, and
Yeah.
good signs are always worth good money. And you know, like it's an investment, I guess. It's just like any other hobby. You take your chances, but it's fun to do.
And it's not only been in the hands of collectors, but it shows up also in garages and also man caves.
Man
and things
caves,
like
it's
that.
just the decoration and stuff like that. It's conversation pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, and it goes hand in hand with cars and stuff like that. Like it's all, you know, gas pumps and signs. It's all has to do with the same thing with everybody's love of the car.
Yeah,
You know,
well,
it's all-
big part of the automotive history is,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of it in this room now. Everything that you would have seen in a BA garage or a Canadian gas station
Yep.
would have been in this.
That's right. There's quite a collection of BA outboard motor oil. These are all outboard motor oil cans, all different.
Yeah.
I know there's still actually one or two in there that I need to get. So
I love the grease tubes. They're so
Yep.
they're quite colorful. It's almost
They are.
like Christmas paper.
yeah, and then I got another one over there with the transition of the blue and orange ones in there too.
Yeah,
So,
it's neat. The artwork is always the most interesting to me.
they are. The other part that is kind of neat are the pour cans, the homemade pour cans.
Oh yeah.
Like these ones here. I think these are so cool that you know, the farmers made them because they needed something to.
Necessity is the mother of
That's right.
invention, and they didn't waste things.
They didn't waste
turned
anything.
It into something
Yeah, they
else.
turned it into something useful, and
You got several of them there.
I've got I got about 12 or 15 or 16 of them there. So yeah, they're just neat cans to have. They're so cool, and some of them are really nicely done.
Yeah, somebody did a lot of work there.
Yeah,
But
there's some that are quite intricate, and some of them are a little bit rough, but I mean, you know, that's the way it is. No big deal.
I know we are talking about cans, but there's some other things here in your collection I just want to show everybody. You got a neat little drawer here.
Yeah, it's kind of neat. How often do you see BA balloons, you know?
Yeah.
Or, you know, golf tees. And, you know, stuff like that is kind of neat. Little caps for your pop bottles,
Oh, yes.
you know, so.
Wow, I forgot about all that stuff. That's cool. And then again, there's this the cardboard.
Yes.
The cardboard pieces, some of this stuff is in such nice shape. These are
Yep.
battery boxes, brake boxes.
Yep.
There's all kinds of stuff here that,
That usually gets thrown away.
yeah,
So you don't really come by it that often.
very impressive, Ken. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking us
Oh,
around. Your collection's always growing. It's always getting bigger. It's always changing and getting more unique.
Yeah.
Appreciate the education and all this stuff. I find this very interesting, fascinating part of our automotive history.
It is.
Thanks very much for
You're
having us,
welcome.
bud.
Thanks for coming by, and thanks for everybody for watching.
Yeah, thank you for watching. That's right. See you guys next time.
Bye now.